Welcome sa sit9.com. In this video, tutulan natin ating series about calculus, no? And dito sa video na pag-aaral natin yung area problem. Now, kung napanood nyo yung calculus 1.01, and I suggest na panoorin nyo siya before nyo panoorin yung video na to, no? You have to watch calculus 1.01, 1.02, tsaka 1.03. Itong video na to is 1.03 kasi yan yung pinaka-overview ng pinanggalingan ng calculus. So, it's very important that you understand, no? Yung mga videos na yan, kung hindi nyo man maintindihan, at least meron kayong idea para malaman nyo kung saan pa talaga nagaling yung calculus. Now, sabi natin, ang area problem ay isa siya sa dalawang problems na pinanggalingan ng calculus, no? Yung tangent problem, doon nanggaling yung differential calculus, at ito sa area problem, ito nanggaling ng integral calculus. Now, ano ba yung area problem, no? Ang area problem ay ano lang siya, simpleng problem na ano ba yung area under this curve, for example. Usually, in general, area under a curve siya, no? So, para malaman natin yung konsepto, ay nag-ano tayo ng medyo particular curve dito, no? Here we have a function f, and we want to find the area under f, no? Particularly between f and the x-axis, no? From a to b, no? So ito, basically, we want to find this area, yung yellow na yan. Now, yung mga mathematicians noon, problematic sila kasi unang-una wala pang formula ng paano kunin yung area ng mga curves, no? For example, yung circle, very problematic sila noon paano kunin yung area ng circle, no? Hindi pa na-derive, no? That's way back. Yung circle I think is 2500 BC pa yata yan nagsimula, or even earlier than that, no? So, well, in this particular function, paano natin kukunin yan at ano yung idea, ano yung naging idea ng mga mathematicians paano kunin yung area nito, no? Well, maraming ideas. Yung ipapakita ko sa inyo yan, pinaka-basic idea at yung pinaka-popular. So, una is to divide the interval AB. No? Divide the interval AB into equal parts. No? But it doesn't matter muna. Siguro, para madali. 4. Maybe 4. So, gitna and then gitna. Okay? So, into equal parts. Then, construct a rectangle. O, construct rectangles. No? Construct rectangles using the partitions. Ito yung mga partitions natin. The partitions. Partitions such that the midpoints of one side, maybe para ma-safe tayo of the upper side of the upper side of the rectangle intersects the graph. So construct rectangles using partitions such that the midpoints of the upper sides of the rectangles intersect the graph. I hope tama yung English ko, no? But siguro mas maintindihan natin kung mas ano natin, mas makikita natin. So, gagawa tayo ng rectangle, no? From here, no? Gagawa tayo ng rectangle. Gaano kayo kataas yung rectangle natin, no? Pa natin alam, no? Paano natin malalaman yung height, no? Sabi niya, siguro yung mas magandang wording dito is the height of the rectangle ay nandun sa midpoint, no? So, what we do is we get the midpoint. Siguro ibang kulay, no? At yun ang magiging height ng rectangle natin. Yung ibig ko sabihin dito, no? So, we get the midpoint. So, maybe this is the midpoint. So, siguro ito yung midpoint natin. Tapos, actually, it doesn't matter, no? Later on, makikita nyo, it doesn't matter. Kahit sang point yan, no? Dahil, liliit naman ang liliit yung rectangle natin. Anyway, just be patient. So, this is the midpoint, this is the height. So, yung green, yung parang pinaka midline natin, no? Yung rectangle natin. At kung saan tatama yan, yun magiging height ng ating triangle. No? So, here, magiging height ng triangle natin is ito. Okay. Siguro gawin na natin blue para alam natin na yun ay rectangle natin. So, I don't know kung narinig niyo yung ulan. Medyo maambon dito. So, that's our rectangle. Yung first rectangle natin. At yung pangalawang rectangle natin ay dito siya dapat. No? So, nakikita niyo ba yung ginagawa natin? We are trying to approximate the area of the area under the curve. No? Okay. And then, nandito naman yung ating okay. So, nakita nyo na? Ilang rectangles yan? 4, no? And kung saan magpapatama dito, dito siya dapat. Okay, so ibig sabihin hindi kasama itong nakausli dito at hindi rin kasama yung nakausli dito. So that's our 4 rectangles. Now if we find the area of these rectangles, for example, kulayan natin ng yellow lahat yan. Siyempre pati dito. No? Now, if we find the area of the rectangles, yan yung yellow natin, if we add these areas, yan yung approximate area na the areas of the rectangles. To approximate the area under the curve. Okay, so yan yung sagot ng mga mathematicians, no? However, kita naman natin na may mga medyo medyo malayo kasi syempre may mga bakante dito, merong dito sobra, ganun din dito, no? So, anong ginawa ng mga mathematicians, no? Para how do you make the estimate better? You make the estimate better by creating smaller and smaller rectangles. No? So, okay. So this is an example. This is a different function, but I think the idea is the same. No, we want to find the area here. We want to find the area between the area under the curve, or the area between the curve and the x-axis from 2 to 4. No? So, tatlong rectangles, ang area niya is 14.81. no? Pag dalawang rectangle lang, ilan? Tingnan natin. Pag isang rectangle lang, 8. Ang laki ng bakante, di ba? Pag isang rectangle lang. Kasi, from 2 to 4, di ba? Ibig sabihin, vacant yung space dito. Oh, look what happens pag ginawa nating tatlo. Kumukunti yung vacant, di ba? Siguro maganda para makita natin x equals 4. Yan. Yung area from here to here, tatlong bakante. Pag nilagyan natin ng 4, what happens? Habang pinapadami natin ang pinapadami yung rectangle. What is happening to the area? Palit ng palit yung wala, di ba? Palit ng palit yung bakanting space. Now, medyo may konting pagkakaiba dito, no? Dito, nasa gitna siya, di ba? Nasa gitna tumatama yung graph. Pero dito naman, nasa gilid. Actually, it doesn't matter kasi. Bakit siya it doesn't matter? Pag-aaralan nyo later yan. Kasi we want rectangles to be very, very small. So, pag naging super liit na yan, halos magiging linya lang yan. It doesn't matter kung saan yung tumatama yung graph. Kasi magiging line na yan eventually. Magiging kasing nipis na siya halos ng line. So, dun pa rin. Tatama pa rin siya sa graph at any point. Kahit saan siya. Sa gilid man siya or nasa gitna. No? So, the idea here is that we want the number of rectangles to be as many as possible. So, pwede ba natin gawing 1 million rectangles? Siguro malapit na yun, no? Pwede ba natin gawing 100, no? Siguro halos mako-cover niya na yan lahat, no? Dito nga, halos cover na niya lahat, diba? So, now, question, pag nalakyahan mo ko ba yan, lalagpas ba yan dito sa area na to? No, hindi siya lalagpas dyan. Palapit lang siya na palapit dyan, pero hindi siya lalagpas dyan. At anong konsepto nga ulit yan? Yan yung limit, di ba? The limit, no? The limit of the sum, no, of the areas of the triangles. Yung limit ng sum nito, no? Ng areas ng lahat ng bakit triangles? Sorry. Triangles but rectangles. Baka may mga sinasabi akong triangle. Minsan na palagi ko nasasabing triangle yan. But we're talking about rectangles here. No? I'll correct nyo na lang. So the limit of the sum of the areas of the rectangles is equal to the area under the curve. No? So, pag pinarami mo ng pinarami yan, no? As close as or as many as possible, no? 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion, yun yung pinaka ina-approach na value yung area. This is 18.43 yung nandito, so malamang around 18.43 yan. Siguro nagkakaiba rin yan sa mga decimal dito sa kanan pa, no? Kung more decimal places yung display natin, but if we round off, it doesn't really matter. Baka 18.43 nga yan. No matter how we, or maybe 18.44 kung mag-increase pa siya. Okay, so ano napapansin nyo dun sa previous video tsaka sa video na to? No? Kung napanood nyo yung previous video, binanggit din natin yung word na limit doon. Nakuha rin natin yung problem dito, no? The limit of the sum of the areas of the rectangles is equal to the area under the curve. So, nasagot na natin yung area under the curve. Theoretical nga lang yung pagkakasagot natin, walang number, no? But, gagaya nung sa previous video, nasagot natin yung tanong. No? Now, question. This is very interesting because doon sa previous video, nabanggit rin natin yung limit, no? Na words. Dito nabanggit din natin yung limit. Now, yung limit, yun ang nagko-connect ng differential at integral calculus. No? Kasi nung na-develop nila yung limits, naintindihan na nila ngayon na may connection pala yung dalawang yun. No? And later, makikita natin na mas marami palang connection yung dalawang problems na yan. No? Medyo magkaiba sila. No? Yung isa area, yung isa tangent. But we can actually see later, we will see that connected yung dalawang problems na yan. Okay, so I hope meron kayong natutunan sa video na to. Don't worry kung hindi pa siya masyadong maintindihan. We have all the time in the world to learn about the area problem and about the about limits, about the tangent problem in the next video. So, sundan nyo yung ating series, no? Imbitahin nyo yung mga kaibigan nyo na panoorin kasi maganda kung marami kayo natututo. So, I hope meron kayo natutunan sa video na to. See you in the next tutorial.